Hello everyone, Silent Reaper here, and today I'm going to show you on how to change your CPU. We have the Ryzen 9 here, it's the 5950X, and this video should show you everything you need to know. Let's hop into it. So today I took out my CPU, and we're going to be changing this from the Ryzen 7 3700X, the 8 core, and we are changing it to the Ryzen 9. This one is the 16 core, it is the 5950X, and I can't wait. This CPU has a boost clock of 4.9 gigahertz. The base clock is 3.4, and it is 16 cores with 32 threads. So here we have the Ryzen 9, and we are going to cut into this today to put the new processor into the motherboard. So let's do it. I need a knife or something actually. I don't even have one on me. Jeez, this thing's really on here. We'll get it. Alright, now I have my handy dandy scissors here. They're like shears, but they work. Ooh, that feels nice. Wait. Oh, please open. Oh, goodness gracious. It's awesome. It's awesome. Please, work with me. Open up. Jesus, this thing takes forever. Alright, let's see what we got in here. Like scared it's gonna drop on the ground or something. There we go. And we got an empty box. Well, I think there's foam in there or something. But here's the processor. Warranty stuff, important information. This does not come with a water cooler or water cooler. This does not come with the Wraith cooler because this one is actually recommended for water cooling. Now I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying what it recommends. Even says it at the top of the box right here. Hopefully you can see that. But yeah, guarantee that you're better off using water cooling. I'm just saying right now. It looks so pretty. It looks so beautiful, doesn't it? Now we're gonna pop this in. So now the first things first, when you get a new processor, what you should do is definitely look at all these pins to make sure that they're not bent. It's the number one thing you want to do. I'm also doing cable management, like I said. It's been terrible. Another thing that you want to do before, make sure your lever is up. I don't know if you can see that. Little lever right here. Make sure that is up as much as it can go so then you can put this new CPU in. Now, what you need to do next is there is a little arrow on that motherboard. That little arrow indicates on where this should go and what angle it needs to be. So, if we look very closely, it's kind of hard to tell, my camera's not wanting to work. There's a little arrow at the tippy top right on that one, but on the other ones there isn't. So we'd want this one to face the other arrow on the motherboard to make sure it goes in perfectly. And then all you do is line it up with that arrow, and after you do that, you just pretty much drop it in just very lightly. And then what you could do is tap it lightly, give it a little wiggle, make sure it's in there, and you should be good. Now after you tap it lightly in there, make sure this thing's in there. Give it a little wiggle. Make sure it's completely in and all the way in. And then what we can do is we can lower this. Make it a little tight, maybe. And make sure you put it to the side. When you lower that, make sure you get past that little black clip right there. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see. But you might have to pull that outwards towards you a little bit just so you can get it down below so then it locks in place. And that's all you do. Now you have your new CPU in there. Now the next thing you would want to do is you put your thermal paste on that. So then you can have your water block or whatever you're using. So then the heat can transfer through the water block. And we have one. We have a Noctua thermal paste is what I'm going to use because I love Noctua. They have really good stuff. It should look like a little syringe like this. Most of the time they come with CPUs. Sometimes you have to get it separately. I'm not entirely too sure with Intel or Ryzen. I didn't get one with this. This is bought separately. It even states it on the box that it might be sold separately. Yeah, it even states on the box, this box thermal solution sold separately. So make sure you really look into that, because you don't want to all of a sudden get the CPU and then you can't even get thermal paste, or you don't have thermal paste. Now the rule of thumb here is literally a grain of salt for this, because once you put that water block on, it's going to be really tight on there, and when it's really tight, it's going to compact and space out all of the thermal solution. So you only want to use like a grain of salt or a pea. Some people do the X method, but make sure it's decently thin so it can spread out everywhere. You don't need a bunch. Also, friendly reminder, make sure you clean off all the other thermal paste on the old thermal paste. If you are changing your CPU like I am, make sure you get all the excess thermal paste off like the water block. Make sure it's clean because you want a nice, thin, even coat. This is literally all you need. Some people might even say that's a little too much. Honestly, I think somewhat that might be a little too much, but I'm going to work with it. But literally, that's all you need for thermal paste. You don't need much at all. And now we have the water block on. Sorry if you can hear that in the background. I'm watching a movie in the background. But yes, this is how we just screw this water block back on. Make sure it's decently tight. Thermal paste is on. And we're good to go. Now I can set up the tubing. And here we go. We are going to go with the moment of truth on everything put back together, rewired, and also with my back killing me. Just saying. And yeah, it is now dark out. It took all day. For me anyways. Cable management is just so difficult. If you can do it, I give you props. Just saying. All we gotta do is flip the switch and hit the power button, and then probably get to the BIOS screen, or just to even see if it turns on and works. So here we go. Switch is flipped. Little light indicator is on down here. And now for the scary part. Maybe. I already tested the water liquid. I already know that's good and solid. Now I just gotta make sure everything boots up properly. And there we go, we got our message. It took a little time, but we got our message for, you know, devices, mouses, hubs, all that other stuff. No, I do not have 3 keyboards. Oh my goodness, that is crazy. Not saying if you do that you're crazy. I'm just saying that I can't even keep up with just one. But yeah, it says it right there, Ryzen 9. And even catches new CPU installed. And then hit F1 to run setup. Go down here to click. And we're going to set her up. There's the BIOS. And we're going to check everything, make sure everything's copacetic. So as you can see, twerking. Sorry, I said twerking, I mean tweaking. Oh my goodness. I'm tired. Tweaking with all the settings inside the BIOS, and we are also checking temperatures just to make sure. I do have the water cooler on, it is at max power, so I'm pretty sure it's not going to get too much hotter. I hope. But no. 48 Celsius is still decent for an idle mode. Gotta check my RAM, make sure everything's still normal. And then we should be good to go. Then we save and reset. After we save and reset, pretty much what we do is we wait. There's the BIOS screen. Well, I had to change the CPU fan. That cord up there was over there, and I had to switch them over. But everything is working properly. It's working really great. And there is the processor, it's reading it completely.
If you like the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, would be much appreciated, and so then you will never miss a video again. If you would like, you can leave down in the comments anything that I forgot possibly. I am sorry if I have. Hopefully this video completely helped you on everything you need to know on changing your CPU. Until then, O Silent Reaper, out.